Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Sentimental.
It's getting excited.
Did you remember some songs?
No, yeah.
It's like bringing tears to my eyes.
Dear Jane.
Dear Jane. Should I play?
Like the song that was playing at your
Are you
wedding.
gonna talk about Dear Jane? Because I'm gonna talk about Dear Jane.
Shall we put the YouTube on?
是影片我调的。
Okay, 可以. Okay, let's go.
Just stop laughing. Hello and welcome back to our second episode of Happy Hour. Today we have a very special guest, Jose, who will be joining us in talking about Millennials versus Gen Z music. Right, so Jose, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Jose. I'm 36 and I consider myself a millennial. Grew up in Hong Kong. And then my family moved to Vancouver, and then I studied there, and then came back to Hong Kong to work.
Right. How would you say, like that your music tastes have changed like throughout your life?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me today, because music means a lot to me. It's a very
Yes,
important
yes.
element in my life.
Yeah, we noticed your T-shirt.
Yes.
What your T-shirt says.
My T-shirt says, "'Cause through music, we can live forever."
Wow.
Nice.
Yes. I guess I was exposed to music when at a very young age. Growing up in Asian families, I learned how to play piano. I played several music instruments. I learned the violin, and then when I was in high school, I played flute as well. And that's more the classical music side of me.
Same. I also.
Yeah.
Piano is definitely like.
I think it's pretty much like every Asian
Asian
family would
family.
expect their kids to know some sort of piano in one way or another. Yeah. So back then it's more like classical music, but then growing up I listened to a lot of cancel pop as well. Living through the eras of say Dai Tin Wong. Yeah.
I know.
No, you're.
Are you sure you know?
I've heard of them.
Yes.
I've seen them on TV.
Have you heard of their songs before?
Probably.
It's okay to say no.
Probably. No,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but growing up, I was really into it. I mean, I was probably very into it to an extent where I would watch the TV channel where they talk about the ranking of the pop music every week. I was like, I was hoping this song would make it to the top of the chart. Yeah, I was like that.
Oh.
But
The equivalent to now 40 kind of.
Yeah.
Or more like a weekly one, right?
There was a weekly one.
Yeah.
I think they have weekly one too in most pop culture.
Western,
in Western pop culture as well. And and then when I moved to Vancouver, I was more exposed to different types of music. I started listening more English songs.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's like rock, like Sum 41.
Yeah,
Okay, I
indie
don't
rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Once
Okay,
again, we're highlighting the difference.
What's rock in your definition, and what would be a rock band?
Oh. I don't know any rock bands.
Again, different preferences.
This isn't a generational
No,
thing.
this
It's
is a
more of
preference.
a just
Yep.
personal preference thing.
Probably,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure there's still rock music around, right?
Yeah.
But I guess for you guys, it's probably quite different.
Yeah. Because the only I know pop rock. So for instance, Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah, I used to have a poster of her in my room back then.
I think so did I, actually.
Whoa!
I was just talking about her yesterday and how she's probably one of the more recognized
Western
icon,
artists.
Western
Yeah.
icons in
Hong
Kong.
yeah.
Oh yeah, she used to
Asia
do
as
a
well.
lot of concerts too in Hong
Yeah.
Kong. She's complicated.
Was that the first song?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
And also Skater Boy.
Skater Boy, yeah.
I don't know if.
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Oh,
Girlfriend.
you're more like that. Yeah, the later part.
The later part, yes.
Yeah. But then, I think after all, all more pop /pop rock singers, it's a lot about branding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
well, anyways, we'll
visuals.
get to that later.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. But yeah, so like when I was moved to Vancouver, I listened to more English songs, and then because at that time, a lot of my classmates were also Taiwanese, so I listened to some Mendo pop as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and back then, like Taiwanese drama was a big thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they always had those like theme songs that they're popular. So a lot of ballads, Mandarin ballads.
Okay.
And I started listening to
Mayday.
Mayday, of course.
Yes.
And then and that's that. And then when I moved back to Hong Kong, I started following more Canto pop as well.
Mm.
And then I also listened to a little bit of EDM. Just
like in the
In the
clubs, like woo.
yeah. Well, we can talk about that too because
Not just in the club.
You can tell
Just
I don't
driving.
go to any clubs.
no, because like it's actually very interesting too when you talk about music in the club, because I think the type of music they play in the club has changed as well.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
It's more like hip hop.
Hip hop. Well, I mean.
Hip hop R&B back then, and now it's
Okay.
more like electronic.
Now
right?
it's EDM.
Yeah, so that's also an interesting thing.
Mm.
As time shifts, different genres emerge.
Do you think that the club mirrors what's like a kind of forward-looking music? So it's always like quite hip, or quite new, or do you think like? Because at the end of the day, it should be
I'm
about
thinking-
that
Very philosophical.
like dancing. No, that's what I was asking. Yes. No, because
Yeah.
you mentioned how it evolves. And
Yeah,
I
true,
think
true.
they
Yeah,
just
I
want
always
to
wondered
play
why.
music to make you want to drink. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Cause
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like really you could feel it through your body because they blast it on so
Mhm.
loud. And
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
friend keeps on saying, "Oh, I love like if they play music that has
Mhm.
really strong bass,
Mm.
like you could feel the
Your heart.
vibration."
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important role of a DJ to manage the vibe of the club.
The mood,
Yeah, user experience.
No, I quitted clubbing already. Long time
Okay.
Speaking
ago.
of the past.
Long
Okay.
time ago. I need to dig really hard to find that history. Anyways, so yeah, but then now it's more, and then, now music to me is like, I listen to it, I like to find the meaning of songs in general.
Yes.
And I still go to karaoke and things like that, so I still pay attention to what's popular in the, more specifically, Canto pop culture.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting because I'm sure everyone has that evolution of, it's almost like a music curve, right? And do you find that the people, I find that the people I socialize with, like music used to be a big bonding, it was almost like your identity. So if you were part of the rock guys, you don't.
Yeah.
And I listen to like rap and hip hop then, but because I play basketball and stuff. But then like when I go to like at my school, it was all like the rock kind of.
We're very
like,
overgeneralization.
Yeah,
What the hell?
No, but that's
Like
impossible.
basketball.
No, but like all
And the hair band.
all the videos you would watch on the basketball, the kids,
Yeah.
obviously is hip hop, and I thought it was
Yeah.
great. Like even the video games you play, it's
Because they play it
Yeah.
during the what do you call that? Like between quarters or like.
well actually in the kind of venue they play more like pop. Well,
In
pop.
Oh, for the
Oh,
audience,
Yeah,
right?
it's
For
more
the audience.
that scale.
Uh-huh.
But if you're like watching like a
NBA.
clip or like a YouTube clip and stuff, they
Oh,
would
right,
have,
right.
they would have more like the underground stuff and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So that was really interesting. But then like at school, I was with like the rock crowd. We would go to the gigs and stuff. We would go to the festivals in the UK and stuff like that. And then like, I find that maybe even up to
There must have been a lot in the UK, huh?
it's big, yeah. And the festivals are not. It's not just like one genre. It's multiple. It's all types of music. So it's just like music was very big. You would go with someone on like a trip just for music.
Oh yeah,
and
like you take the national rail just to go all the way to like what Reading
Yeah, you could
or
go
something.
around Reading, Leeds, Glastonbury, and then you can even go to Europe for all of those. And it's fun. Like you plan the whole trip around. What are the bands you want to see and stuff like that. So it was very very big. Like uni days was very big music. And then when you start working, it's a little bit of the same. I probably commercialized a little bit more, because I don't know. I want to say you don't have time for it, but I think it's just your focus shifts a little bit. So you listen to what's. Hence, I ask what's in like in your environment. So if I go to a bar or I go to a restaurant, like if they play something, I would be like, oh, that's what I'm listening to. And then coming back, I think geography is important too, because then when I came back to Hong Kong, actually when I met you in Shanghai, it was probably when the whole karaoke era has took over and has lasted ever since. All the music, or most of the music I listen to now is probably for the purpose of karaoke.
It's like you're just like, I think this song is singable. It's easy enough to practice. Okay, let's go.
And sometimes if you hear somebody singing a song in the karaoke room, you're probably like, oh, that's a good song, and then you would like go and research about it or research about the singer.
Lyrics. So lyrics became a big part of it.
Lyrics is a big part.
Because when you're singing it, it's a much bigger part than maybe if you're casually listening to it and you don't have it in front of you. So I think that's pretty interesting. I wonder whether like did you have that evolution as well in terms of your music taste and
so for me, like I started listening to music from Disney movies and like Disney Channel. I'm not sure if you guys know like Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Please explain.
She's this like, oh my god, how do I explain it? It's basically there's this really famous Disney show
Mickey Mouse Club.
No, called Hannah Montana. It's literally called Hannah Montana. It's basically like a TV series about this high school girl.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so it's a series.
Yes, so it's a series, and like the main character is a singer, but like she hides her identity as a singer when she's at school.
Oh.
Yeah, so her real name is
it's kind of like Sue Bailey, right?
What's that? Is that the same story?
It's like a cartoon.
Oh,
Japanese?
Okay.
Well, I need to do a little bit more research because I thought like there's like a identity shift.
Oh right.
She's like a singer, but then like she's like also a normal girl kind of thing.
Oh right.
Maybe something similar. I don't know, but continue, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so what was I? Oh yeah, so Hannah Montana, right? So like I started listening to her music. It's very generic. It was like really like feel good pop essentially, and then I think at the same time it's really weird. I was listening to something that was trending amongst my friends, but also at the same time I was also listening to ABBA, who is like they were. I think they already disbanded when I started listening to them. Yeah, so it's so funny, like my karaoke, like, cause I would also go to karaoke as well, my friends back then, and it's just basically Hannah Montana and ABBA.
Wait, but Hannah Montana, is it like, does she sing covers or like original?
Oh, it's original, because it's like, you could say it's soundtracks of the series, but I mean, because it's about her as a singer, right?
Okay.
So she sings her own songs, technically,
Okay.
Yeah. But I think, like, because back then Hannah Montana was also, 14, 15 years old? Yeah, so, and then at the time I was, 7? So, we all looked up to her, like, oh, we all want to be singers.
Role model.
Yeah, role model,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, like, my childhood music. And then because this was back in Hong Kong, and then I went to the UK to study. It was, like, in a boarding school.
Right.
And, like, the music that I listened to there was very different. Like, I feel like indie music is the pop music over there. Like, I'm not sure. Yeah. So, like, I think I can't think of any names off the top of my head, but it was just like very indie acoustic music.
Acoustic.
Yeah, a lot of acoustic, like guitars. Very chill music.
So they're not signed to any record labels, probably.
Like maybe half of them.
Half of
them, yes, half of them not. Or like some of them are like they're signed, but they categorize themselves as indie.
You don't feel they're as commercialized.
Yeah, not as commercialized.
Right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because actually, I didn't like it at the
Mhm.
beginning because I was
Mhm.
like, this is kind of boring.
Ah, okay.
but then I think it's because once you listen to more of it, and I think also because your friends are listening to it, then I'm just like, oh, actually, it's starting to grow on me. This
Identity and like
yeah,
associate
exactly.
yourself
yeah.
with a group.
Yeah. And
yeah.
then I think around that time, Jessie J came out.
Oh.
So she's actually like also kind of pop rock ish,
Uh-huh.
like at least her
Yeah.
like initial music. And I think it's like a lot of people. I was like very introverted. I was also very like my demeanor was very mild as a person. So like when my friends found out that my favorite singer at the time was Jessie J, they were like, "You listen to Jessie J? That's surprising." Like, Elaine. it's like I committed some kind of crime or something, right?
But how would you say like? How did you choose what kind of music you listen to? Like, for example, how did you come across Jessie J, and then
Right.
why did you start listening more of her songs?
Right, so I actually found her when I was watching like MTV. Yeah, back then I watched a lot. Like, I watched a lot of music videos, just like clicking on all the recommended like related videos.
Right.
And so like back then, the visual part was of the music. Like it's like a multi-sensory kind of experience.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, so I think that was a huge part of me choosing what songs I listened to. And then when I listened to the rest of her album, I was like, oh my god, I love this. And then I think because it really hits, I think it's really targeted at people hitting through puberty, going through puberty, especially because her famous titles were like, Nobody's Perfect, Who You Are. So like when you're going through that personal development stage, of course it's still relevant, like any age.
Stage of
Yeah.
So for you probably you also do look for the meaning.
The meaning, yes,
of the
definitely,
songs.
yeah. Actually, up until then, I didn't look at the meaning. It was like when I was listening to Jessie J, I started to, look at the lyrics. So yeah.
So you've never really gone through the Britney Spears versus Christina Aguilera phase.
No, but I do listen to both of them. But I am.
That was in the 90s, right?
Huh?
That was in the 90s, yeah.
I'm a 90s baby. Late 90s baby. 97.
That was like 90. Early 2000. Britney Spears versus Christina.
Late 90s, yeah.
So what's the answer?
Oh, sorry?
Like Britney
Spears or Christina Aguilera?
Yeah.
Wow.
Since you brought it out.
I am not sure.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Actually, okay. I think Britney Spears songs are like, you notice them played more often in public.
Yes.
But
more pop,
I feel
Catchier.
but I feel like Christina.
Genie in the bottle. Genie in the bottle.
No,
is
that's
catchy.
Christina.
Yeah.
No, but it's not played as. I don't know why it's not played as much in public, but yeah,
Sure.
I
always have the impression that Christina is a better singer.
Yeah.
But then
but then a
lot of people maybe because she's in The Voice, or is it as a judge? I don't know which singing contest is she in.
Yeah, The Voice. Yeah.
Yeah. But then people were telling me that like because Britney was like a singer, like sort of like she started singing at a very young age. So you didn't really hear the processed voice in her songs back then, and she was actually pretty good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would agree with you. Britney's catchier, play more often.
Yeah.
I think she tried to do more projects.
Oh right, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why.
I
Maybe
think
she's got more like things to talk about her as a person, so she's more
or market value.
But the thing is, she evolved, like, because the other songs were a bit more kind of depressing or more deep. But like most people remember her for
shaving her hair.
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, when I think of it, it's always like
yeah. It's the very first one, right?
And that's global as well, because Britney Spears was really big back then, right? It's like you can like almost songs as big as the Spice Girls. Was the Spice Girls part of your?
Yes, Be My Lover.
So,
yeah. I mean, because I feel like I feel like in the UK, I was more exposed to older songs, like more past songs. Because actually my friends listen to a lot of songs that were released maybe like before we were born. Yeah, and I think like especially when I went into uni like in London.
Right.
I started listening to more songs that were like of singers who've already passed away. So like
classic.
Yeah, so I think like oh my god, was it Etta James? Etta James. I think like very American early mid 19. I need to search this up. Like very old. And then Patti LaBelle. I'm not sure. No. Okay. Maybe it's like that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you tell us the music you listen to now, well, we probably won't know it either.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean.
Yeah, so it's kind of.
Like,
so of the three of us, she probably listened to the widest range.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Widest range. Yeah.
It's how do you guys kind of search your music now? I would say like for me it's been very similar. Like back in the days when I was younger, I listened to music that my immediate social circle, family or friends listen to and we talk about. And sometimes I want to find things so I can share and talk about with them. And then here now, I think it's the same concept, but it's now on Spotify.
Yeah.
Curating like lists and following preferences and stuff, which I know you have a
Yes.
lot of.
Yes, basically, yeah.
So I use Spotify and YouTube. But I don't like. It's funny because I wouldn't say I have a preference of which platform I use. It's still more about the music I'm trying to find. So I kind of use both. But I don't know whether that's different with you guys. Do you have a music platform preference or?
Yeah, so the reason why they were laughing earlier is because they know how obsessed I am with making my own playlist on Spotify.
But that's your interest, right?
Yeah, that is like I actually put it on my CV. Like it's on the end, with the hobby
special
section.
skills. Oh,
yes.
Hobbies.
Hobbies. Yeah, actually.
Curating
Spotify.
It does take a special skill set to be able to find the music you want and curate into a playlist, right?
Yeah, and it also it takes a lot of time as well because I don't do this as regularly now, but like back when I more free time, I'd actually sit maybe once a week, like on Spotify, go through just a bunch of random new songs for 3 hours, and then just like this could go into this playlist, this could go into that playlist. So like some of the playlists I have are like just when you're feeling happy, like specifically waking up. Because feeling happy waking up is very different from feeling happy when you're like ramped up ready to go to like a very hyped up event.
That's actually very interesting.
Because I guess it really depends on like your personal preference of waking up. what feeling?
Everybody's different.
Because you're.
Wait, so you're saying this music is for like just when I open my eyes? My alarm clock music? Like is that sort of stuff or?
Well, it doesn't.
To prepare yourself to go through the day, kind of music. Like, can you give us like one or two examples of what's in your wake up
routine?
Playlist? Yeah.
Oh, the routine. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, cause I mean, alarm is like it's just one song, right? So it's just a very generic song.
Yeah.
But then obviously the first thing that I do when I like open my eyes is literally turn on my Spotify. And then just blast it on my speaker.
Okay.
I mean, blast sounds very aggressive, but I like to wake up gently, but not like lullaby acoustic music because that's too gentle. Because or else I'll just fall back to sleep. But it's just that optimum level of energy where it's like I'm looking forward to something, like music that says I'm looking forward to something. So for instance, like Coffee in the Morning is an actual song.
Okay.
Yeah. yeah. So
I thought it's an analogy. I thought.
no, it's like it's an actual song. I can't remember who's it by, but it's like it's gentle, but it has a beat and it's enough to get you waking up, getting ready to go. Otherwise, like if it's like EDM is too strong, like I don't want to wake up to
totally different mood.
Yeah, it's gonna give me a headache. Like
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that either. Yeah.
Because so that's interesting because then music is a bit of like a passive thing for you in that sense, right? So it's like kind of going on in the background and.
Yeah, exactly. I think like every moment in your life there should be a background music.
Our life is a music video, guys.
That's true. To kind of like summarize.
It's like when it's raining, you just look out the window, and then you like imagine yourself in the music video.
Just sitting on like the ding like the tram.
Yes.
And just like looking out was like some 1980s like canto pop.
Hashtag mood.
Hong Kong mood.
Yeah. Hashtag rainy days.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that's same for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe in that. Yeah.
So you're saying that a song would capture a specific moment in time in your life.
Yeah.
Or is it more like, because for me it's like sometimes it's not the meaning of the song, it's just that during that time I kept listening to that song. So then that kind of anchored.
Or you're learning how to sing that song for
yeah. It's gonna go on to that, but then for you maybe you mean like the actual, like you're looking at it from like the music and the meaning to like, how you feel.
Because deep down inside you have like a big pool of songs in your head, and then there's like always moments and it's like, oh, I can relate to that song when this happens.
Yeah, and sometimes like, cause like me and my friends also have a lot of like, when you're starting to fall in love with someone, like we have a playlist for that, and then like when we just broke up with someone or just like feeling heartbroken, then we have another playlist for that. And it's like, it's really funny because even after, I have like a few friends who like after making those playlists, they actually never listen to it.
Yeah, it's kind of just helping you go through certain stages.
Yeah, it's like the act of making the playlist.
The act of it. You don't even listen to it after.
For them they said it actually it makes you go down a rabbit hole. Because you're remembering the pain, and then it's like you're going. It doesn't actually help you get up. It actually like you're sinking down.
Like maybe to them, creating this list is like a closure for this.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which makes sense. I think. It's just like stop.
So that's it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed us talking about pretty much every aspect of music and life.
I think we can come back and explore specific topics under the big picture of like music.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It might be we might be start another series just focusing on talking about music.
The J in the W and J.
Yeah, jams. Yes, also jams. Yeah. So yes, follow us on our Instagram at Waffles and Jams, where we post a lot of music recommendations as well as like other astrology, gaming memes if you're into that. Also, we'll have a podcast version of this episode, so like we'll link it down below in the description box. And feel free to comment your music preferences, your listening habits in the comments below. Yes, so we'll be posting every Friday. Hope to see you again next week, and please subscribe, like this video, and let us know if you want to like any specific topics that you want us to talk about as well. Stay safe and hope you have a lovely weekend.
It's okay.
Curating your playlist.
The light is like.
我不会很黑吧这一次？
上次我调亮。
对的，但是这一次这样 OK 吗？
这是 OK， 因为我这边。
上一次太过分了，那个我太黑了，他太白。现在是应该是Jose最白吧？是不是？